So we started designing our app in the last video, and we created a background color and a text box. In this video, we will create the layout to add our answer buttons for the quiz app. So you might have expected there to be questions and answers in this app since it is a quiz app. Well, we will basically add 4 questions and provide 4 answer choices for each of the questions. This is what the layout is going to look like. As you can see, the questions will be a text and the answer choices for the question will be in the form of buttons, and the user can select one button for each question. So, in this video, we will add the 4 buttons for the answer choices to our design. So go ahead and open your activity main.xml file in the quiz project that we created. You can find this file in the resources folder in the layout folder over here. Set up your screen in a split view so that you can see both the code behind the design and the design at the same time. So we will put all our buttons for the answers in something called a linear layout. A linear layout allows us to organize components in a horizontal or vertical manner. We will be organizing our buttons on the screen in a vertical manner. So using a linear layout is going to organize the buttons vertically. So let's create the linear layout. Below the text view over here that we created in the last video, open an angular bracket and type in linear layout without any spaces and 2 capital L's. Then close the angular bracket. Now you should automatically get another text that says linear layout over here like this. Now click on enter. Now between these 2 lines that say linear layout is where we will write. So between these 2 lines that say linear layout is where we will add in all our buttons for the answers. Now as you can see, the linear layout is red. This is because we need to specify what we want the height and width of the linear layout to be. So go inside this first pair of angular brackets over here and then click on enter. So on this line is where we will tell Android Studio what we want the height and width of the linear layout to be. So on the first line, type in Android:layout_height is equal to open quotation marks and type in wrap_content. Wrap_content means that the height of the layout will only be as big as it needs to be. So its height will depend on the size and number of buttons that we add and how much the buttons expand its height. Then on the next line, type in Android:layout_width is equal to open quotation marks and write match_parent. Match parent means that the width will be as big as the entire screen. So the width will be at a maximum and the height will be at a minimum. Okay, great. Now we have specified the width and height of the linear layout, and the linear layout texts are no longer red. Now remember that a linear layout can organize the components either vertically or horizontally. We want the buttons to be organized vertically, so let's specify that in here. To do this, just type in Android:orientation is equal to open brackets and then type vertical. Finally, let's give our linear layout an ID. Remember that an ID is what we refer to components with. So let's name the ID of the linear layout choices_layout, as this layout will be holding the different answer choices. So to set the ID, type in Android:ID is equal to and open quotation marks and write @ID choices_layout. Alright, now our linear layout is set up. So let's start adding buttons in this linear layout. Remember that we want to add 4 buttons, 1 for each answer choice. So to create a button on a new line inside the linear layout, like this, type an angular bracket, type in button with a capital B like this, Then add in a backslash and close the angular bracket. So this is what it should look like. And between the word button and this backslash over here, is where we will write all the code for this button. So as you can see, this line is red, and red indicates an error. And that is because we have not specified the height and width for the button. So let's go ahead and do that. This is where we will add the width and height. We want the height and width features of the button to match those of the linear layout. So let's copy the width and height in the linear layout over here and paste it over here like this. Great, now our button has a width and height. Now you may notice that you cannot see the button on the screen here. And that is because the color of the button is purple, the same color as the background. So let's change the color of our button. To do this, click on Enter, and on the new line, type in Android:background tint is equal to. This command will allow us to change the color of the button. So open quotation marks, and here's where we will indicate the color. Let's say I want the color to be white. So I'll type in @color/white. Great. Now you can see that the color of the button is white, and it is visible over here. In the next video, we will format this button and add in more buttons.